Hey, my friends. This week on episode 42 of the Jump Rope Podcast, I'm joined by the one and only Davy Stahl, aka Davy_Jumps. If you were at the Chicago meetup, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Davy's that guy who made the kickback look so smooth, it had the rest of us tripping over our ropes trying to copy it. He brings big air, clean tricks, and creativity that makes you pause mid-skip just to watch. But there's more to Davy than kickbacks and combos. He's also a woodworker, rock climber, and medical device rep. In this episode, he shares how jumping helped him recover from injuries, what it was like starting a college jump rope club, why concentration face is just fine, and how he moved from weighted ropes to freestyle flow. Inspiring, funny, and heartwarming, just like the guy himself. So let's jump into it. Here's my conversation with Davy Jumps. Davy Stahl, Davy_Jumps on Instagram. Thank you for joining me on the Jump Rope Podcast, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here. I've been wanting to join for a while.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to come on, and super happy to get to meet you in Chicago earlier this month at that Jump Rope Meetup. Oh my God, I had so much fun.
Yeah, that was great. I'm happy I finally got to put some faces to some names that I see online all the time. Get to learn about like their backstories and who they actually are, not just a jump ropers.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the great things about the podcast and about meeting people in person is you get more than that little 30-second snippet you get in a reel on Instagram.
Exactly. I mean, that's like my best of best. Like when I post on Instagram, I try to keep it like pretty clean.
Yeah.
So I get to see everybody like who they actually are. So that's nice.
Yeah. It was really cool to see that the people that I had been watching on Instagram in person were the same people and exactly as supportive and loving and kind and and just chock full of skills. Like I learned so much from watching people at the meetup. That was great.
Definitely.
I know it's already come up on the podcast at least twice, like the kickback that you taught the group, and we've all been practicing. I know Tracy and Nikki have both been doing kickback stuff. I've been messing with it here and there. Nowhere near as smoothly as you. It is.
It's a fun move. I don't know. I just watch a lot of videos, a lot of jump rope videos from other people. And I just take little snippets of what everybody's done and I go out and try it for like an hour and I just come up with something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a special one. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks.
So tell me, Davey, where you at geographically?
Yeah, so I'm in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Been here all my life. I'm only 23 years old, so grew up here, grew up in the same house. So never really moved out. Yeah.
Nice. And what do you do for work?
I'm a medical device sales rep. I sell orthopedic and sports medicine repair kits. So if you ever need a knee, all you jumpers, let me know.
Got it. Okay. So if I need a drop-in knee replacement or whatever, I know a guy?
You know a guy.
All right. Cool. So, well, that sounds exciting. Do you have other like hobbies or fun things that you do outside of jumping rope and selling medical devices?
I've been making tables for a while. I do custom woodwork. Yeah. And I also rock climb. So those are my two like hobbies.
Rock climb.
Yeah, I go bouldering I have a rock climbing gym near me. So I just started about a month ago.
Yeah.
Climbing on and off. My cousin, he's been a big climber for probably like 10 years. So he came in for my sister's wedding and took me and I kind of fell in love. It's like another jump rope thing. It's another task that I start out bad at, but I have to I got to go through that process to get to where I am because you don't just start at something.
Right. That's definitely something you learn through jump rope too, is just showing up and being bad at something and trying makes you good over time. It's just the showing up, right?
Definitely. Like if you take the time and you scroll all 400 videos down in my profile, you'll see where I started. I haven't deleted anything. Everything's there.
Yeah. It's a good reminder even for yourself. I know for me, like just looking back a year and going, oh, wow, like it wasn't like I didn't have any skills, but my skills have refined a bit and it's cool to see.
Yeah, it's a different skill set. It's definitely a different skill set. It's not to say you weren't skilled back then because at the time you felt like the best version of yourself and you were. But if you just keep on that path, you really get to see your full potential. And to where it can go and we're still not done. We're still learning these things every day, which is good. So I like to just keep going.
The rest of my life ahead of me, and every day is going to be a learning experience.
Right?
Yeah, and even when not learning new things, there's so many things you can get crisper and smoother at, right?
Totally. Whether that's like the simple cross, Like, I think I get better and better at the cross every single day.
Yeah.
And it seems like a move that you master like way back in the beginning, but you don't really master it until you start to like improve on other moves
Yep.
that cause you to incorporate that. So like I
Right.
noticed it today. Even my basic jump, like I'm just getting better at it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was watching I produced a little video for Instagram earlier today, and at one point I was watching like, are my feet actually even coming up off the ground? Like, how does a rope
Right?
pass under them? Whereas some of my earlier videos, there's 4 inches of me jumping off the ground. I was putting a lot more energy into it than I needed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I
yeah,
noticed that. A lot of that's like one of the first things people say to me when they see me jump is like when I'm not doing my crazy big tricks where I'm really jumping off the ground.
right.
They're like, "You don't even look like you're jumping." And I'm like, "I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm skipping."
yeah, right. Yeah, that's really cool. So, furniture. How did you get into woodworking?
2021, after my freshman year, um, I just saw this YouTube video online and I didn't have much work to do in my internship. It was a lot of just follow along, get the experience. Because in medical device, there's no tasks that you just sit down in an office and just like crank out work. So I'm always in the hospitals and I'm always doing that kind of stuff. So for the first year, I would just follow my boss around and go to surgeries, but
Hmm.
that left me with a lot of time. And I was like, you know what? I saw this guy online and he made a really good video on how to make a table. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it. I'll throw a couple $100 in, and if it doesn't work, at least I got the experience. Um, and it ended up turning out really well. It took me like 3 months to make three different tables that all like match. It's like a matching set,
Hmm.
and I made one that summer, and it took me so long and so much money that I just was like, okay, I'm going back to school. I'll let it go for a year. And then the next summer came around, and I was like, I still have the same internship. I have the same amount of time. I'm gonna do it again.
Hmm.
And then I started to post on Instagram. So I have another Instagram just like Davy Jumps, but it's
Yeah.
called One of One Stall. So that's all my art that I do.
Okay, cool. I'll have to
Hmm.
check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. I'm wondering with your rock climbing, like I grew up mostly in Alaska, and my physics teacher and PE teacher in high school taught me how to ice climb.
Oh wow.
And in Alaska or in Anchorage, all of the waterfalls around Anchorage are named after like cheap wines like Ripple and Thunderbird or whatever. And so they took me out and we climbed frozen waterfalls. And I remember hanging off the front of a frozen waterfall with ice picks and crampons. And I asked my physics teacher, like, what is it about this that you love so much? And he's like, when I am hanging off the front of a waterfall, I can't think about grading your paper or that kid who was smarting off in class the other day. I'm thinking about staying on the waterfall. And it just clicked in my head. This is his meditation.
Exactly.
And I bet with rock climbing, it's the same sort of thing. Like you get up there and you get that same sort of head clearing benefit that you get from the jump rope, or at least that I get from the jump rope.
Totally. I get the same feeling from jump rope, but for me, jump rope is only I lift as well. So
Okay.
jump rope, I really only spend like 30 minutes a day jump roping. I'm not jumping for a very long time. In the very
Okay.
beginning, I did, but then it transitioned, like COVID went away and we can like go back to the gyms and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I started to lift more.
Okay.
So jump roping is really my warm up, and then I'll go lift. But then after a while, I found rock climbing, and
Hmm.
that's lifting is kind of mindless to me. Rock climbing is more like jump rope to where I get to think, I
Yeah.
get to like pause, and I have to think through the moves and the sequence that I'm going to do. So like
It's a
there's
puzzle.
nothing to think about. There's absolutely nothing to think about when you're doing jump rope and when you're rock climbing. So
Yeah.
I understand what your teacher's saying. Like it's fully the way I think about it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So how many days a week do you jump rope?
It's with my job, it really depends because there's
Okay.
days where I get up at 5 in the morning and I'll work from 6 a.m. till 11 a.m. and then I'm done for the day. And then
Okay.
there's days that I'm at the hospital from 6:45 until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Hmm.
when I get home, I'm like already beat and I don't really want to go jump rope. So
Yeah.
I would say like 3 days a week. Three
Okay.
days a week I jump.
And what does a jump session look like for you? Do you have like warm ups that you do to get started? I know
Yeah.
you said
So
jump rope was warm up for lifting, but
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't lift every day. So like there's days that I'll just jump rope.
okay.
It's super easy to get it in like in 30 minutes. So I can
Hmm.
just go out in my backyard and jump rope. So a lot of the times I am just jump roping. My warm up, I go out there and I um I just stretch a little, and then I have a sequence that I do to start off every single jump sesh. I was taught this by Lewis Hamilton. He
Okay.
is head of the jump rope committee, uh, or I forget what it's called,
The
but
American Jump Rope
it's like,
Federation.
yeah, like the largest jump rope federation there is.
Mhm.
He's like the head of it, and he was a teacher at my college, so he actually was my advisor for my jump rope club that I had started,
Oh,
and he
wow.
taught me this jump rope sequence that you should do every single time before you start jumping. So when I start, I'll just do like 10 normal jumps in a row just to get like the feel of the rope going. But
Mhm.
then I will slow the rope down and I'll really focus on like keeping the structure of the rope around my head. And I'll do
Mhm.
2 jumps in between each jump.
Okay.
So
Double
you know how
jump.
you jump, it's like one jump, one jump, one jump. I'll just do 2 small ones, slow the rope down, and I'll do
Mhm.
that for 10 in a row. And then once I hit 10, I will do 10 regular jumps in a row.
Mhm.
And then I'll do 9 double jumps, 9, and
So you
then
do
I'll
a
just go
ladder,
all the way
like a
down. Yeah,
downward ladder? Okay.
definitely. And it gets the calves burning and it definitely gets the blood flowing without me like risking anything like getting hurt. So
Yeah.
that's
I
good.
suppose that's a timing thing too, or like it
Definitely.
because you're kind of switching pace, right?
Yeah, so I still struggle to switch when I get to 10 to do the regular jumps to like tell my brain, okay, my wrists need to
Yeah.
move faster and I got to jump all at the same time. It sounds easy, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So much of the benefits that come from jump rope seem to me to come as a result of tuning that timing, like tuning that ability to perceive timing. Like you're saying, people say your feet aren't coming up off the floor, well, that's timing. That's because you've moved that rope around you a million times and you've been practicing a long time. You know where that rope is.
Exactly.
So when you do jump, do you have favorite places to jump? Are you jumping in the gym or at home?
Yeah, I love jumping outside. Outside, there's nothing that beats outside.
Totally.
That's also the best thing about jump rope is you can take it anywhere,
Right.
and you're not confined to one's place.
Yeah.
So I just like to go in my backyard. My dad has like a trainer, like a bike trainer back here, and
Okay.
it rides on this like mat. So he didn't want the mat anymore. So I jump rope on that mat. It's like a very small, thin mat.
Okay.
Um, and I just take it out in my backyard. That's my favorite place. I used to like going out in my front yard, but I found that making videos is kind of tough with the cars going by. Like if I
Mm.
want like an ASMR video where you can hear my rope a lot,
Yeah.
it's better to do in the backyard.
Yeah. You don't get the Oldsmobile driving in front of the house,
Yeah,
sputtering.
but I do like being in the front because I have a lot of people that walk around in my neighborhood and they like to see me jump.
Yeah.
So like they'll come around and they'll be like, "I didn't see you today," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, you'll see me tomorrow." So
Yeah.
that is a benefit of being out in the front.
Yeah. Do they ever come stop and like ask to jump or ask for advice?
Yeah, definitely. I have a video. I think it's my 3 year. So if you see in my profile, I have all my transitions like pinned,
Mm-hmm.
my year anniversaries. So on my 3rd year anniversary, that entire video is me in my front yard in different clips of people coming up to me and like saying things. So like it's just over the year of how many people have came up to me and like
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, you can see that up there.
That's super fun. That's great.
At first I didn't like it. At first I was a little self-conscious because I wasn't
Yeah.
as good
Yeah.
at the very beginning, so I kind of was just fumbling around. But
Yeah.
now that I've gotten better, like I feel pretty confident now.
Yeah. I know what you mean. One of the things I've wondered about, like, I guess when I've talked to some people who are not jump ropers or who I would say are civilians, they look at what we do and they can't discern the difference between what I do and what you do, or what I do and what Nikki does. It's all jump rope, it's all a rope spinning around doing stuff. And so I suspect that even those people that might have walked by when you were in your first year or whatever, where you weren't feeling as confident, would still go, "Oh my God, look at him with that jump rope," because they can't quite tell that you're not doing a kickback because they don't know what that is. They just see the thing flying around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like pass up the jump rope at like the gym or whatever because they see it as such like an exerting exercise. And even though it's such like a little schoolyard activity,
Yeah.
they're still like pushed away from it because it takes a lot of focus and a lot of rhythm to do.
Yeah.
That they do appreciate it when you are kind of moving the rope, like, and you're doing at least 20 jumps in a row consecutively. So they already think like, oh, wow, you're pretty good, but they don't even know what the world is like in the jump rope, like
Right.
world.
Yeah.
So,
And rightfully so, neither did I until I stumbled on like a Lauren video and was like, holy moly, you can do that with a jump rope?
right? I didn't know that was possible. I just saw the jump rope dudes on YouTube, which are a
Yeah.
part of Cross Rope, and they were
Right.
just jumping like normal. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I can get fit while jump roping.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
So talk about your gear a little bit. Like aside from the thin mat that you use, what kind of ropes do you use? Are you a beaded or a PVC guy?
I got all my ropes right here.
Look at you, all
Yeah,
propped up on your bike.
so this is my go-to rope. This is my
Beautiful.
beaded rope. This is an Elite SRS rope,
Okay.
which is just an American company. It's very similar to
Yeah, they're out of
Elevate.
Washington.
Yeah, so my jump rope advisor, Sean Hamilton, he is friends with the guy who started Elite SRS.
Okay.
So he was able to get me into contact, and for my jump rope club, I was able to get like 50 jump ropes from them. So that's when I got
Nice.
this one. I got this. I bought this for myself for Christmas just because I wanted to customize the rope.
Nice.
So this
It's
beaded
pretty.
rope is like my like go-to. I really like a Joker. So like it's kind of Joker
Yeah,
colors.
it is got some Joker vibes to it, doesn't it?
Right. And then if I
Yeah.
want to do something a little like faster, this is my favorite rope.
So that's
This
PVC. Is that 6?
this is a
No?
5 millimeter PVC. So
Okay.
it's kind of thin. And then this is by Blue Philosophy.
Okay.
So Blue Philosophy is by Adam Banks. He's a guy on Instagram that he started jump roping and created this gambit rope.
Okay.
Like all PVC, in my opinion, are the same, just depending on the thickness that you get. Whenever
Yeah.
they say like non-tangle, that's you throw them in your bag, they're tangling like a pair of Apple headphones. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Tangle
It's
resistant.
these handles.
Yeah.
It's these handles. So these are like normal
Yep.
handles that everybody has, but these handles have a little like ridge.
Yep.
So when I'm flinging this rope, because I don't fling my beaded ropes as fast, but when I'm flinging this thing, it allows my hand, because I don't hold my rope like this, and I don't think anybody does. I think everybody kind of holds it back.
Right. Yeah.
This notch, I'm
Helps.
able to like
Yeah.
have my fingers there. So when I get sweaty,
Yeah.
these ropes, the beaded ropes, I slip and I'm like, this, I have something to hold on to the entire
Yeah.
time, which is why like when I'm moving fast, I like this one.
Yeah, that's cool. I had a PVC like that I picked up from a local sporting goods store. It wasn't as nice as that. I think that the main PVC actually had like fishing line in it instead of an actual wire. And I just shattered the handle trying to do a release one time or goofing up in some way. And I just let that one go because it was a $9 one. But that ridge is kind of nice. I get very sweaty. You probably see I wear gloves a lot because of that.
I totally get that. I've definitely worn gloves before, just like in the winter, I find that it's actually pretty nice wearing a thin pair of gloves. But
yeah,
this thing is cool. And then, so I got a lot of ropes.
Yeah. I love it.
This is also by Blue Philosophy. Adam Banks is one of my sponsors. So I have Elevate and I also have Blue Philosophy.
Huh?
So he sent me this rope. It's the exact same rope, but then I took the extended handles off of an Elevate rope and put them on here. This is my rope that I use to learn, I learned the TJ.
Okay.
I don't really do the TJ too often because it's like an extremely hard trick for me to do smoothly.
Can I ask you to describe the TJ for those of us
the TJ,
who are not?
It's let me get back.
He's gonna do it right here.
Okay, yeah. So your hands, it's a triple jump, and so it starts behind you, and then the rope goes forward, and this is all in one jump. So you jump, you do a side swing, and then your knee goes up, and you go under.
Okay.
And then release it. The reason I use this is because I don't have to go over as far.
Yeah.
So that's why I do this. I'm not very good at the TJ. I know a lot of like the pros are, like you see them doing over and over.
Yeah.
But this is like a training rope for me.
That's great. That's cool.
What about you? What's your favorite rope?
Man, I would say 98% beaded. Like and I've got a bunch of ropes, but the ones that are my go-tos now, I've got one from Coach Chris with the thickened cable. And then there's a brand called U-Rope, urope.us. And I have a ton of ropes, or not a ton. I've probably got 8 ropes from them or something. I've bought several of them in duplicate so that I can have one to jump with and one for parts, as
Yeah,
I destroy them.
you said Jump Rope Chris, right?
Jump Rope Coach Chris, yeah, the Jump
Oh,
Rope company.
yeah, you said his are like thick. Like, what do you mean by the inside is thick?
So it's the same thing with the U-Rope Pro models that I buy. The cable itself on a lot, like I would, the cable itself on a lot of standard jump ropes is like an 1/8 of an inch piece of nylon.
Like this?
Yeah, yeah. So the thickened cables are a little bit thicker and a little heavier. So
Okay.
the jump rope has more weight to it, and that extra weight just gives you more feedback as you're practicing and stuff. So
Totally.
like with Coach Chris, if you go to the jump rope company, you can buy a beaded rope with a normal cable or the thickened cable. My advice is always go with the thicker cable because it's heavier and you just feel more. And Coach Chris noticed early on that when he gave those to beginners, they learned faster because they can
Really?
just feel the rope faster. Whereas like I've got a bunch of, 4 and 5 mil PVC ropes, super fun to jump with, but they're more challenging if you're a beginner because you don't get that level of feedback. You have to be more conscious of moving your wrists, right?
Exactly. I started one of my first jump ropes was one of those like speed ropes, like
Yeah.
just the cable.
Yeah. I bought one of those from Amazon too. I was like, wait,
Dude,
this
that was
is
the
not how
first
to
one I
learn.
bought. No, and I used it and I'm like, I cannot figure out where the rope is the entire time. It feels like there's nothing around you.
I know.
So then I bought a 1 pound rope, the next rope,
Yeah.
and got it
The
shipped like the
complete
next day.
other end of the spectrum there. Yeah.
Exactly. It was way easier. Way
Yeah.
easier.
Way easier. Yeah. You get those videos on Instagram every once in a while with like, it'll be in, China or Japan or whatever, the speed trial thing where,
Oh, they're good.
they're amazing, but they never jump like straight up. They're always way over. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Not the rope to learn on, FYI, for anybody
Right.
watching. Don't buy those.
Yeah, if you want to get your feet going fast, like spend a year or 2 with your beaded rope and maybe a PVC and then graduate to that. Because otherwise, you're just going to get really painful whips.
Oh, painful. And they like raise, like, oh,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah. It's like garroting yourself with a jump rope. So when you skip, are you skipping to music?
Oh, yeah.
You always listen
I
to
skip
music?
to a lot of music. Always.
Yeah.
Unless I'm making a video, then I have no music in my ears,
Interesting. Why is that?
which is like the complete opposite. Because I don't do any of my routines to video or to music. I do all my routines. All my routines are freestyles. So I don't dance skip at all. Like that
Yeah.
looks good with the beat. I'll take music that has a really good like bass drop because I know that I'm gonna do like one really big move like the kickback.
Yeah.
And I like when the music is going up, 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 bass drop, kickback,
Yeah.
and then it goes to the rest of my routine. So I can kind of decide that after. I have a general idea, like
Sure.
as I'm jumping, I'm like, okay, I like that kind of vibe of song.
Yeah.
Whether that's like an EDM song would be really good for my like routine, like my footwork skills, like boom, boom, boom. But then sometimes an old rock song will look really good with like that boom and the bass drop and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah. The guitar solo wailing right at the perfect time when you
right as I'm going real
land
fast,
that trick.
like
Yeah.
exactly. So that's what I like to do. But I listen to music the entire time while I'm jumping.
Yeah. But you're just not trying to sync what you're doing with the music except in
I've
post.
tried. There are some videos where I have done that.
Yeah.
I found those very frustrating videos to make
Mm.
because I'm having to stop, rewind, listen to the same part like 30 times.
Yeah.
And by the end, I'm just like exhausted and it's so confusing.
Yeah.
But I've always liked that freestyle, like just go where my mind takes me and wherever the rope is, I'll figure out where to take it next and
Mhm.
hopefully string together a couple cool moves. And then once I get the idea, if I keep like tripping, I will remember that freestyle that I just did in the beginning and I'll
Mhm.
do that same thing and go to the next move. So my freestyle, I'll build my freestyle, which sounds like a routine, but it's all coming just freestyle in the
Right.
moment.
Yeah. You're just kind of crafting a combo out of freestyle.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So we met at the Jump Rope Meetup in Chicago. Was that your first meetup?
That was my first meetup. Yeah.
Wowza. What was that like for you?
I wasn't supposed to go, actually. I was out of town. I was in Wisconsin, and I
Okay.
had said I couldn't go. Like, a couple of people had asked me, and I'm like, I can't make it. I'll be out of town. But then I decided, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm never gonna get a chance like this where I don't really have to travel much to go to a meetup. So I like came home a day early for my trip, and I drove pretty early from Wisconsin straight to Chicago
Okay.
to get here in time. And
Yeah.
luckily it all worked out and everything, and I was good. But
Yeah.
that was so fun. I would love
Yeah.
to do it again.
Me too, man. I'm itching. I told you I talked to Sarah earlier, Sarah Caldwell, who was at the meetup, and was telling her I can't wait another year for that. We got to do this again pretty soon
We have to.
because it was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. So was it what you expected, the meetup?
It was better than I expected. I had really no expectations, but it was better than like my initial idea of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting as many people to show up,
Mhm.
like, at all. And I just loved how everybody was super, like, supportive and
Mhm.
encouraging.
Yeah.
And there was no really competition to where it was like grudges, like I
No.
don't like
There's
you or
no
whatever
ego
like
kind
that.
of
Like,
stuff.
oh,
Yeah.
like you're better than me. So it's like no, or like it's more like, oh, I know this move, so I'm gonna help you learn this move and then bring you up here. Like now you know this move. So
Yeah.
it's more like I like to share the moves that I know. I like to learn moves from everybody else because all the ladies taught me all the footwork. I don't know footwork at all.
Yeah.
So like going up to them and they were like, "Oh, join this like routine with all of us." I was pretty intimidated because
Yeah.
that's not my style.
Yeah.
But they were very supportive and there was no rush or anything. So it was nice. It was really nice.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's interesting. When I went to the meetup, in my brain, everybody else knows more than I do and is a better jumper than I am. And to get there and have people who I know have been jumping longer than me and are wicked great at what they do ask me for like advice on how to do something with footwork or whatever was just so weird. And it was really cool. And like you said, there was no ego. Like, and it doesn't matter how long they were jumping. Like, I was impressed with everybody, but the amount of talent that showed up, I left there thinking, oh, I could have learned so much more. I could have talked to more people, but this is why we need to do it again because there's not enough
That's the thing,
hours,
yeah.
like we need to have like a camp or something, a couple days of this
I agree.
where we can all blow out our shins.
When I went there, I was super like, oh, there's gonna be so many people that are way better than me and blah blah blah. But when I got there, it wasn't like that people were there was like one person that was just way better than everybody else. It was more like every single person had their own completely different style because if you think about it, we were never jumping together from the beginning, so we didn't like adopt the same style.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you were on a team, you might like be taught the same things and practice and
Right.
end up like the same jumper. Like, but you and I, complete opposite jump ropers, but very good at our own things.
Yeah.
So like I like that we all learned by ourselves, adopted what we like to do that matched our skill set, and then
Yeah.
brought it to the meetup.
Yeah.
And everybody was able to learn from everybody. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really neat. So when did you start jumping?
Oh, I started it back in 2020, so 5 years ago.
And was it a COVID thing? Was it the gyms are closed, now I gotta find a way to keep fit?
Gyms are closed, find a way to keep fit. I was up really late. It was like 2 in the morning, and I found this video on YouTube, and it was from the Jump Rope dudes, like I talked about earlier. They are affiliated with Cross Rope, the weighted ropes, and it was like 30 minutes of jump rope can do the same workout as a gym. At 2:30 in the morning, I went on Amazon and I bought that tiny little jump rope that I had talked about, and when it arrived, I quickly like got the larger one, the weighted one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to emulate their videos, because they were using the cross rope.
Sure.
But I didn't want to pay $100 for a cross rope set.
Yeah.
As my first jump rope.
Sure.
So I did that for a while, that 1 pound rope, and I beat that. I bought like 3 of them. I like tore them to shreds.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I learned how to do like the cross that I decided to like take a video of myself. And that video is up on my Instagram. It's so funny. I have a tiny little ponytail on the top of my head. I can't stay in the frame.
Yeah.
I like fail right away. So yeah, it's been 5 years.
So how long after that did you graduate away from just the weighted rope? Like you went from
Oh,
speed, the wire speed rope to weighted rope. When did you decide to move to beaded or PVC?
3 years, 2 or 3 years after I started jump roping with a weighted rope.
No kidding.
So I have 4 sets of cross ropes.
Okay.
So I started out with cross rope. That's like
Yeah.
once I got really good with my weighted rope, I was like, okay, like
Now I'm going to
I'm
invest.
gonna, yeah, I'm gonna invest. So I bought that rope and I was like, whoa, like these are really like professional. I don't know if I'm here yet. So I stuck with the weighted ropes for a long time because like during COVID, like I'd gained like 15 pounds
Hmm.
and the cross ropes helped me like get back to like my original weight that I wanted to be at.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like these cross ropes are nice. They kept building muscle. I still don't have access to a gym.
Hmm.
Um, and in my mind, weighted jump rope meant this is like the best jump rope because it's heavy, it's
Right.
resistant, and that's what I thought jump rope was.
Right.
Until I met Sean Hamilton and he told me there's a whole different side of jump rope.
Yeah.
And then I got the beaded rope.
Yeah. And so what did you notice? I mean, aside from the weight difference, what did you notice different about the beaded rope when you started using it?
I could do tricks. I didn't know that tricks were even like a big thing in jump rope. I thought it was
Yeah.
the cross and the side to side swing.
Yeah. So did you get addicted to what the trick did?
Yeah, it was the tricks. Like immediately I realized that like, this is like a little lightsaber I've got going on. I couldn't do this with the weighted
Yeah.
rope. And then it left from like oh, I need to like be fit with this weighted rope. That completely left my brain and
Hmm.
the tricks sparked another side. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there is a lot of fun to be
Yeah.
had.
Davy's on fire.
Right? Like
Yeah.
if you look at the beginning of my profile now, complete opposite jump roper.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
go
I
ahead.
didn't want to adopt the change. I was very stubborn. I was like, I will never be a trick jump roper. That's like, no. And I
Yeah.
really was only waited until like my mom or dad they bought me a jump rope for Christmas and it was from Elevate because
Yeah.
I had just become a sponsor. They
Oh.
just sponsored me. So they like got me one of their ropes and I was like, okay, like I'll try it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's cool. So once you started with the beaded rope, then what was like the first trick that you really went after, or the first tricks you went after and landed?
A lot of toads, like
Really?
lift the leg, go under the leg. A lot of those. That was like my favorite thing to do.
Interesting. Why? What
The
what
awesome
about it?
Annie,
Yeah.
because I couldn't do that before with a weighted rope, so there was like never that freedom of movement.
Hmm.
And I think I saw Lauren Jumps do like one of the cool awesome Annies that she does,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. So I started to do that a lot and
Yeah.
under the leg movements because I always thought under the leg meant like really cool move, and it is
Yeah.
a really cool move. So I just honed in on that and just
Yeah.
learned that.
Yeah. So once you got the beaded rope, like, did you have a specific method for learning? Like, were you just combing Instagram, or did you ever get a coach or get an app or something like that?
uh, I learned everything just on my own.
Okay.
I just watching YouTube videos, watching Instagram videos, and literally having the phone up while I'm outside working out, seeing this amazing person jump rope. It's not even a tutorial. It's just this person's
Yeah.
like jump rope routine. And I'm like, okay, pause that. I'm gonna try to do that. And then
Yeah.
that's how I learned. Just
Yeah.
trial and error over
Yeah.
and over.
Cool. So you've never really had a coach or something
In
like that?
college, once I started that club,
Yeah.
he started coaching me and
Okay.
he taught me like that I can do bigger and better moves
Yeah.
than I was doing because it's
Yeah.
all technique and it's not really like full at like you have to be a pro to do this. No, it's
Yeah.
just technique. So he taught me a different mindset.
Okay. Were there
That
certain
was
physical things that he taught you that upped your game?
yeah, hand placement.
Yeah.
Definitely hand placement. A lot of my videos where I am like teaching a trick, the jump rope position, the handle position is like the most important thing when you're doing a trick
Hmm.
because you always want your handles to be pointed where you want your rope to go.
Hmm.
And previously, like for doing like a cross, I would just bring my hands over and my
Yep.
hands would be like this.
Yeah.
But now I bring my hands over and now my hands are like this.
Right.
So it made everything a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how sometimes, I mean, in that case, it could have been an adjustment of 1 inch or a little twitch of the muscle that actually just opens up a whole world of things for you or just makes them so much smoother. Like I know for
Totally.
myself, when I was first working with crosses, just basic crosses, the times where I would whack myself in the back of the head were either times where my arms were out too far, so I'd shorten the length of the rope, or there were times where I would do the cross, but I wouldn't scoop. I would do kind of what you said, I would cross my arms and then rely on the rope momentum to carry it over my head. And that's not always the right choice, right? Like you got to scoop, you got to keep that rope moving. And
Yeah.
that
I like
little
to,
thing made a big difference to me. Coach Chris talks about the ice cream scoops.
yeah,
That's how you visualize it.
that's a good way to put it. I always think like put my hands in my opposite pockets. Like that's how I always
Okay.
say like I'm digging my hands in and then
Yeah.
following with the rope. So like that scoop, like dig in and scoop out. Like it's
Oh,
so
that's a
right.
good visual. Like when I've got change, but I've got change in my
And
left pocket, but my
you got
left hand's full. You got to get it in there,
right, and you're do
pull it
that
out. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. That's a
No,
good
that's
visual.
and it's true with all tricks. Like that doesn't just hold true to the cross. Like that holds true to the Southpaws. Like the way I explain it to people is like you got to point your hands where they're going, but I also like to say you're driving a car. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
going sideways. You're going to, and you never cross your hands when you're driving a car. So
Right.
just keep them like that.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
makes a
all
lot of
hand
sense.
positioning.
Yeah.
I think majority of it's hands rather than feet.
Yeah. So you said you're jumping for about a half hour at a time when you jump.
Yeah.
And do you go in with an agenda? I mean, I know you're a freestyler, but do you have a mental or a written list of like things that you want to learn, or here's where what I'm gonna do when I go out and jump on Tuesday?
Yeah, so usually if I see a trick online that I've like been I've never seen before or that person made it look really easy, I'll have that trick in mind and I'll do my normal warm up and then once I'm like fully warmed up to try the move, then I'll do that move for probably the entire workout
Yeah.
and I'll make a video attempting that move or whatever and that's kind of what I go in. I go in with like one trick in mind.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling really bouncy and really, really like wanting to jump, I'll do a kickback in a video.
Yeah.
If I'm not really like I can't jump today, like off the ground, I'll do more of like a footwork routine or just some quick movements.
Yeah. Where you're still jumping, you're just not levitating like you do when you do the kickback thing.
Yeah.
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 Because I would guess that I saw you do that on the beach in Chicago 100 times, and each time you were 8 inches off the ground when you did the kickback. And it
Yeah.
was smooth as hell. It was so fun to watch.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's actually not my move. I'm not going to steal that move. Okay. So I made it the way that I made it, which is completely different from the first ever video that I saw somebody do it. And he's still to this day the only person I've ever seen this do this move besides me.
Yeah.
His name is Chris Skips,
I've seen.
and I think he's got like a blue background.
Mhm.
He's got like 50,000 followers. He's really good,
Yeah.
but his kickback is a lot more scrunched up.
Okay.
So I saw that move and I tried it, and my first iteration of that move was so hectic. And when I got it, it took me like a week of an hour and a half every day trying to get that move.
Yeah.
And when I got it, it was the messiest thing, but I got it on video and I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm done and I'm not trying this again. That's it. So I got that move when I was a junior in college. And I was stoked. I was like,
Yeah.
I just did the
Goal
craziest thing in the
achieved.
world,
Yeah.
right? I'm done. I capped out.
Right.
But then after college happened, like once college was over, I decided to go back to that trick. And I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this with less effort. And I just have to slow down and think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went out for another week and all I did was practice the kickback.
Yeah.
But I practiced it the way I taught it to you guys rather than jumping.
Yeah.
So just a quick turn, feel my foot, kick it back. And I would do that rotation over and over again until I was like dead set 100% of the time, I will kick this rope back.
Yeah.
So I learned that if this is the floor, this is my foot, that when you're kicking it back, you don't just kickback, you have to drag your foot.
Right.
So then when the rope comes around, it can't go under.
Right.
It has to hit. So then I felt that and I kicked back over and over again. And then I went back to his original video and saw him do the kickback. And I was like, he's in the air. I got to do it in the air.
Yeah.
I can't let him be the only person do this.
In the
So
air.
I was like, I'm going to do this. So I went to the gym and I found out that along with your foot, it's all your hand placement. And I know you said earlier when you were doing the cross or whatever it was, where your hands are too wide and it shortens the rope.
Yep.
So I actually use that in a positive way.
Right.
So I shorten my rope on purpose
so that you can
when I'm doing
kick
this
it.
kickback.
Yeah.
So I can kick it in the air.
Yeah.
Because when I jumped and I'm doing the kickback like normal, like how I taught you guys, drag your foot.
Right.
If I jump up, now the rope is going to go right under my foot.
Right.
So I was like, okay, now that I'm in the air and I have the same movement, how do I get the rope to hit my hands? And every time I was taught, never shorten your rope. You're going to trip on your rope. And I'm like, I need to shorten my rope.
Right.
So I just pushed my hands out. As soon as I'm going back, I push my hands out ever so slightly. So the rope shortens, hits my foot, and then comes back
over. Yeah. That's cool.
So that's how I learned that move.
Yeah, that's really cool. So Kathy jumps. I don't know if I've ever seen her do the kickback, but she does the rope direction change with her feet, the kicking smoothly.
Looks so good.
Where she goes forward, kicks it, hits her back foot, and then she kicks it forward again, and then she's in jumping.
I just saw that video.
She does it so smoothly. She's not shy with doing it. Like she does it on a lot of videos, but it's so smooth and it just looks so killer.
It gives me a tennis effect. Like she's playing tennis with the rope with her feet.
Ping pong, ping.
It's so cool how she can do it. Like when I do a kickback, I do one and then I continue my routine.
Yeah.
She does it. She's quick with it. She goes back and then is able to it's impressive.
I know.
It's, really
it's
nice.
like a slap, slap, slap.
Yeah. And you'd think like, okay, the rope's going forward. I'll just stop it and bring it back. But a lot of it has to do with being able to slow the rope down.
Yeah. And like you said, make sure that you catch it with your foot. And like I've tried to do that and then, it's gone under me or I catch it with the tip of my toe. So there's a little bit of art in getting the rope to the right length so that you can connect with it and also make it smooth so that like when you watch Kathy do it, the rope doesn't look chaotic at all. Like you see some people change direction and the rope sort of bunches up or something but no, that stuff is
her rope
smooth.
is like perfectly. Yeah. It's so satisfying to watch. When I saw that video, I watched it probably 10 times. And I was like, I'm going to do this next time. Like, this is going to be my trick.
I know. Her skills plus her just cheer and community love is just, you gotta watch her. She's someone you can't miss.
She's definitely one of my favorite jump ropers to watch just because of her, like, facial expression or positivity is just so, like, contagious. I find it really, really hard for me to keep a positive facial reaction when I'm jumping.
Yeah.
So like,
do you get serious face?
I am like, like dead set. Like I'm not doing anything other than focusing on this rope. But then when I watch people like at the jump rope meet, there were so many people that were like smiling and jump roping, and I'm like, oh, this is a happy thing. I didn't realize it because if you look at my video, you think I'm a grump. It's like no,
you just have concentration face. That's
super concentration.
Yeah. I know several people who get that. And then I was joking with Ailey when she was on. She gets concentration face too. And then sometimes like the tongue does things, where you're not paying attention to it. It happens to me too, or I stick my tongue out at the camera when I'm thinking really hard or whatever.
Yeah, and like my mouth is just open sometimes. It's like, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like I don't realize it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what broke me of that, Davy. Here in Minnesota, especially this time of year, we get these rains and then we get these clouds of bugs. And in one of the parks that I jump at, you'll get these little clouds of gnats. And I have been on a limestone bench jumping my little heart out and then realize, I've got open mouth and I suck in gnats or I've had them fly up my nose. And oh my God, nothing worse than having to like snot out gnats in the middle of a jump rope session.
I don't have that issue, but I get it. I understand.
Yeah. Do you have mayflies in Chicago, or have you seen mayflies before? We have mayflies, and I was not aware of these bugs before I moved to Minnesota, but here in Red Wing, so mayflies are very short lived. They have like a 24-hour lifespan, and they can get big. I mean, they can get an inch or two long, and they're dumb insects. Like they go to light bulbs, and whatever they land on, they just cling on, and they're gross. And we have mayfly outbreaks so badly that there's a bridge here in Red Wing that goes from Minnesota to Wisconsin, and they keep a snow plow nearby so that when there's a mayfly outbreak and they build up on the bridge to the point that it's dangerous for cars and motorcycles, they plow the bridge of bugs. Isn't that crazy?
That's nasty.
It
That's
is.
crazy. Yeah, we don't have that issue.
I was in Lake City at the marina, and the guy's like, yeah, they get really bad. Like when they fly up your nose. I was like, oh my God, if one of those 2-inch things ever flew up my nose while I was jump roping, I would never stop screaming. I would just die screaming right there. Like a 2-inch bug. I think these gnats, they hit your epiglottis in the back of your throat and make you gag, but a 2-inch bug, I would die.
Yeah, I'd stop jump roping for the day.
Yeah, that's right. Break time. And now I got to go gargle Listerine and some gasoline.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't have that issue here.
Well, good.
No bugs.
Yeah. They're not a fun pest.
I do have cicadas though. Cicadas drown. If I'm trying to make a tutorial and I'm talking, those cicadas in the background are the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be quite a choir, can't they? So can you talk a little bit about, like, aside from the puzzles and the challenge of jump roping, you've talked about like the clearness of mind we've talked about the clearness of mind that jump rope and rock climbing can get you. What are some of the other benefits that you've got from jump rope or that you've noticed as a result of jumping rope?
So in high school, my senior year of high school, I partially tore my deltoid ligament in my ankle, which is like on the inside of the ankle. And I didn't like go to the doctor because it was my senior soccer season and I was trying to go play college soccer. So I was like, I have to play. And then after the season, I decided, I was like, you know what, I've already done all my college visits and talked to the coaches. I want to be a student. I don't want to play. And then I went to the doctor and they said like, oh, you have tendonitis in your Achilles and all this like gunk in your ankle. So like you need physical therapy, cortisone shot, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, like that's brutal. So I went through like months of physical therapy and all these, shots and everything. Nothing worked. The cortisone shot, nothing helped my ankle. And they said, you just need to take time. It'll always be in pain. And I'm like, my gosh, like I'm so young for this to happen to me. Like, come on. So then I started jump roping, and a couple months after I started jump roping, the pain went away.
No kidding.
Completely. Yeah. So
like, was it really painful while you were jumping?
In the beginning, there's some videos of me with like an ankle brace on and a knee brace because I partially tore my deltoid ligament on my ankle, but I also partially tore my MCL in the same season.
Good Lord.
So my leg was bionic for a while.
Yeah.
But it was never to the point where I needed surgery or anything. So it was just like, it'll take time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. So I started jumping and both pains went away.
Yeah.
And I definitely noticed when I started, my knee pain, like right under the kneecap, like the patella tendon area, that pain. I don't know if other people get it when they jump, but like if I jump for an extended period of time, like I'll start to get some pain there.
Yeah.
But after a while, it just went away.
Yeah.
I just kept jumping and the pain went away. So I've noticed that has been a huge benefit.
Yeah. I've had the same exact thing. And that specific pain you were just mentioning, I would feel going downstairs.
Yeah, totally.
Like that's where I go, oh my gosh, yeah, that doesn't feel good. But I think building up the muscles and just keeping stuff moving down there has helped.
Definitely helped.
Yeah.
Another thing jump rope has shown me, a lot of people find great joy in watching you jump rope. Like I've had plenty of friends just like ask to come to like teach them how to jump rope and like at school, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can teach you how to jump rope. So I'll take them for like an hour and I'll notice them like taking breaks, and then they're like, can you show me that trick you did online the other day? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so they'll like watch me and they're like in such awe. And I'm like, it's not that hard. Let me just teach you that. And then I'll teach them, and still be like, oh my gosh, like no way, I did it. So I have
Yeah.
some videos back when I'm at school. You'll see me in like a studio with like a bunch of random people every time, and
Yeah.
that's just a different group of friends that have asked to like go jump roping with me.
That's so cool. That to me, jump rope means so much, and I get so much from jump rope that the idea of giving it away to other people or to spark some excitement in someone that's kind of like what I had just feels like magic. Like if I could give this away, I would do it all day long, you know?
Exactly, I'd be giving it away for free. So that's why I started my jump rope club.
Yeah.
Is so in the my freshman year of school, I had a group of friends that would just like videotape me watching me jump rope, and they were like, "So many people want to learn. Like, you should teach them. You should start classes." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Okay, I'll start a class." The university, like, I went to them and I was like, "I want to start jump rope classes. I'll be your instructor." And they said, "No, you have to be certified. You got to work for the school. Blah blah blah."
Hmm.
And I go, "Okay, I want to start a jump rope club." And they go, "Okay, you can do that." And I'm like, "Cool, sounds good. It takes away all the complex parts, and
Yeah.
I still get the club."
Right.
And I didn't care about the money, like, because if I was gonna be a trainer, I'd get paid, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nobody's gonna wanna pay to learn how to jump rope.
Right.
Like, come on, let's do it for free, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here every single day for an hour, so might as well have it make it a club."
Yeah.
So, I started that, and, like, 70 people joined, like, right away. And
70?
yeah, but
Wow.
not everybody came to all the jump
Sure.
rope, like, things. There
Sure.
was, like, a couple every class. Um, but I had a couple classes that had, like, 25 people in
That's
them,
amazing.
and it felt really cool.
Yeah, I bet.
It was super exciting for me to be able to share the joy and see somebody, like, get really excited for
Hmm.
learning how to do a cross, and I was like, "I remember that same feeling, like,
Yeah.
I get it every day.
Yeah.
I love this."
Yeah, there's something special too when you've been through that and you had that feeling when you landed the cross. As messy as it may have seemed to you as it may have been, just that feeling of accomplishment. Like, I don't know, there's something special about seeing that light go on in other people. Like, I understand why teachers do what they
Yeah.
do even without getting paid much, because the reward of seeing the light go off and spreading the good news, so to speak, is just so amazing.
It's the most gratifying thing ever, and so, like, along with, like, starting my club, I also met my girlfriend through jump roping in a way.
Wow.
So, yeah, so, like, I had a big crush on her, and I didn't really like, I was never, like, the most confident, like, to go out and, like,
Sure.
ask her out or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I was like, she saw my jump rope videos and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, like, do you ever wanna come be in a jump rope video with me? Like, I could teach you how to jump rope." And she was like, "Yeah, sure." So,
What a
I
great
taught her how
pickup
to
line, Davey. I love it.
right?
Hey, you want to come be in a jump rope video with me?
Yeah, right. So, but that was like my easiest way because I'm like, I have a bunch of other people that I take, so it's not weird. Like,
Right, right. Yeah, it's a group
I
thing.
don't have, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like normal. So I was like, yeah, come jump rope. So it was on a Thursday, and then she was like, oh, do you want to do it next Thursday? And I was like, yes, please. So
Yeah.
then we started to do jump rope classes or like go jump roping together every Thursday for a while until we started like going out, and I was
Hmm.
like, wow, like jump rope, I can make friends and I can get a girlfriend.
Yeah. Cha-ching.
Yeah, right? So, like, you'll see her in there's a couple videos with her in it, she's
Cool.
pretty good, I got her a jump rope. Yeah, she loves it, but
That's
she likes
amazing.
watching me do it too, so,
That's
yeah, it's
great.
cool.
That's so cool. Like, where would you be without the jump rope community? Or what has the jump rope community meant to your learning?
Yeah, I would still be on the basic jump and the crosses with a, weighted rope if there was no jump rope community.
Yeah.
I would never have seen all of these tricks and all the inspiration from
Yeah.
routines, video style, because, like, a lot of it comes from, like, a lot of like my video editing and how I do things. I'm not the best editor, but even just like the smallest transitions, I'll like all of them I get from other jumpers.
Sure.
So they taught me how to be a jump roper on Instagram
Yeah.
and to do the tricks that I do, and it's great. It's super wholesome and super exciting. All the group chats that we're in on online,
Yeah.
they're really helpful, and I just love seeing somebody, like, get really excited when they crush a move that they've been trying, like, when Miss Nikki Skips, like, posted online, and she's like, "Davey, I finally did." I was like, "Oh, like, that feels so good." Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, like, it's amazing, and now I feel a lot closer with a lot of you guys
Hmm.
now that I got to meet you guys. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I was on the outskirts a little because I was never super active.
Right.
I never really talked to my camera.
Yeah.
and I just like was, just making videos and going on my merry way. But now that I met everybody, it feels like I'm getting a lot more like engagement, and it's a lot more fun to post something because I know that you guys will like say something super encouraging, and
Yeah.
it's just awesome.
Yeah, and you have there's more weight behind those comments because you're like, hey, Davey just said I had good footwork, and I was just, and I saw him and his footwork, and yeah,
Yeah,
like these are real people. They're not just bots on Instagram that are very
exactly.
polite.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So now that I actually can like I've met you, so when you comment on my Instagram, I'm not like, "Oh, thanks." It's like, dude,
I
I
know that
know how
guy.
you're
Yeah,
saying it. I know how you're coming across. Like
right.
I understand. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can
Like
hear
so
your
it's a
voice
lot
in my
more.
head when I'm reading your comments. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So it's a lot more fun.
yeah.
It's yeah.
Well, speaking of fun, this has been a ball, and like I'm so thankful I got to meet you and learn from you at Concrete Beach, and we're gonna have to set up one of these jump rope meetups again before too long. I've talked to several people that went to the jump rope meetup in Chicago about it, and have a whole bunch of people in. So I just need to figure out schedule and see if I can get a few other people on board, and we'll set something else up so that we can,
I'm in.
so we can get back and jam at it again.
That would be super fun.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure being here. I love talking to you for the hour. I never get to talk about jump rope for an hour,
I know.
so it's always a pleasure. So
I know. It's
thank
so
you.
fun to nerd out about this thing that I love so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Thank you so much for your time, Davey. This has been amazing.
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, folks, thanks for hanging with us. Subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Tell a friend, drop a comment or review, and hit that 5-star so we can keep skipping into more stories. Till next time, remember, whips, welts, and wobbles fade, and when you show up, keep whipping, keep whirling, and keep skipping forward. You win.